So in that way, yeah, very systematic, very organized. Yeah, kept it, chapter wise. It's very difficult actually to bound the sutras, the concepts of Sanskrit grammar in chapters, but Jiva Goswami did that actually. Um, yeah, so he kind of modernized the way Sanskrit grammar had been presented earlier. So thanks to Srila Jiva Goswami, and also how did Srila Jiva Goswami get this idea? So one motivation or one prerana was, or one impetus was that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself had a toll. In Bangla, they say toll, right? Toll is uh, like a pathshala, like a small group of, yeah. So he had some students to whom he would teach underneath a tree. So a simple system still followed in few of the villages in India. Now we have buildings and all, but so that system is called toll in Bengali. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would himself teach Sanskrit, and when he taught Sanskrit, then he would implement Shri Krishna's holy names, and he would implement examples from Shri Krishna's pastimes, his names, and so on, his qualities. So he kind of, how do you say, what's that word? Um, in English, what do you say? To combine, uh, intersected? No, I'm forgetting that word. Anyhow, he kind of mixed Shri Krishna, yeah, the Shri Krishnaness, Krishnatva within the grammar. So Jiva Goswami gave a proper form to the way Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would teach, and that form is in front of us. What we are seeing here, Sri Harinamamrit Vyakranam. So even Srila Prabhupada, when he went to America, so initially David was one of the followers who lived with Prabhupada, and so he also started teaching Sanskrit. He wanted to teach Sanskrit initially, but it didn't work out. So yeah, we are here not to become like so-called scholars or someone. We are here just to unfold grammar so that we can unfold the scriptures and study them so that Muhuraho Rasika Bhuvi Bhavukaha Punah Pibatu Rasam Bhagavatam Rasamalayam, so that we can relish the scriptures and what else? Yeah, if there is like more motivation than that or some other motivation, then that's fine as well. Yeah, but for the devotees, Jiva Goswami knows what devotees will do with grammar. They will naturally dive deeper into the shlokas, into the commentaries of the acharyas. Uh, so, so we heartily thank Sri Jiva Goswami. He provided us with Sri Harinama Vyakranam, and yes, so here with his mercy and with his blessings, we embark on this journey of studying Sri Harinama Vyakranam. So, just a few rules or yeah, guidelines here. So, anyone having any doubt during the class, any point of time, so you can simply raise your virtual hand on the Zoom, and then you can just ask whatever, or you can share whatever uh, is there related to the topic. So it's not that just at the end. So you can simply raise your virtual hand, and we can discuss whatever the point is. Another thing is, yeah, mainly that point was there. So yeah, anything else before we start, like about Harinama Vyakaranam? So this version, okay, one more thing I wanted to share is, so originally Harinamamrit Vyakaranam was Laghu Harinamamrit Vyakaranam, the smaller version of the same book, so which had around 700 or 800 sutras, but that was too short. So then Jiva Goswami expanded it into Brihat Harinamamrit Vyakaranam, full-fledged Harinamamrit Vyakaranam. So that has around 3200 sutras, 3200, 3200 sutras. In the Gaudiya Mats, Harinamamrit Vyakaranam is quite rampant. They do teach and study in many of them. So they study the Brihat one. Even myself, I have studied the Briyat one, 32 plus sutras, 3200 plus sutras. That takes around 3 to 4 years actually. So what happened then? We had a BBT Sanskrit school led by His Grace Gopi Prandhan Prabhu in Govardhan, like in 20s and after that also. So then he and his team, especially Matsya Prabhu, so they compiled this Madhyama version of Harinamamrit Vyakaranam. Uh, and this is an authentic version. It's not just that they picked up some random shlokas, sutras, concepts, and they just put it together and made a Madhyama version. You know, it's not like that. It's a very authentic way. The introduction says more about that. You're most welcome to read that as well. Um, so this is Madhyama version. So it has around 1200 sutras. So after studying this whole Harinamamrit Vyakaranam, Madhyama version, so we'll be able to read, we'll be able to write as well, we'll be able to translate um, any Sanskrit text. So such is the potency. So we are here, we'll be studying this Madhyama version. So it has 7 chapters in it, this book. So the very first chapter, um, so this book has 7 chapters. So the first one is Sangya. So which basically deal with terminologies, definitions and all. And Sangya and Sandhis. Sandhis are the conjugations. Uh, these terms might be new, so as we move ahead, uh, we'll become familiar with them. Second chapter deals with the nouns. Third chapter deals with the verbs. So second chapter is called Nama Prakaranam. Third chapter is called Akhyata Prakaranam. Fourth chapter is called Karaka. So Karaka deals with the meanings of the suffixes, either nominal or verb. Fifth chapter deals with the Kridanta. So these are pratyas. One chapter. This is then the Samasa chapter, which is compounding. And the seventh one is Kandita also is chapter. These terms might be new, these chapter names and all. But as we move ahead, we'll become more familiar. So chapter 1 is Sangya and Sandhi. So we'll begin with chapter 1 and then so on. I'll share this Google Doc with all of you. So, and whatever I'm writing, so I'll be writing in this only throughout our classes so that it gets updated automatically and you get the notes. So post class, I will forward it. Okay, beginning with the Mangala Charanam. So Jiva Goswami begins with some auspicious prayers in 4 shlokas, 4 verses. So we'll begin off with them. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Bhyam Namaha. Offering obeisances to Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Mangala Charanam 1. Krishna Mupasitu Masya Srajamiva Nama Valim Tanavai Tvaritam Vitare Desha Tat Sahityadi Jamodam. So Jiva Goswami, to worship Krishna, the translation says, to worship Krishna, I will compose as a garland for him a Namavali, a set of his own sweet names. This Namavali will quickly bestow the types of bliss derived from being with Krishna, from poetry about Krishna, and from other things that pertain to him. So, Jiva, Jiva Goswami says that I am composing or composing or making this grammar, and this grammar he's comparing it to a garland, you know, a garland of the holy names of the Lord. So this Vyakarana, this grammar is like a garland made up of the holy names of the Lord, like different flowers in a garland. So like different flowers make the whole garland. So different names of the Lord is making this Harinamamrita Vyakaranam. And really, Jiva Goswami does that in the grammar. So so I'm composing this garland like Harinamamrita Vyakaranam in order to worship Krishna. He's not saying in order to gain knowledge. He's not saying in order to become a scholar. No. Devotees are such that whatever they do, the primary reason or the primary cause would always be to worship Krishna. And then, so the primary cause is to worship Krishna. And see, while studying grammar also, the primary cause is to worship Krishna. And then the secondary cause or the reason or the motive is to gain knowledge about the Sanskrit grammar. So devotees are such that, but whatever they do, their primary reason or motive is to worship Krishna. So, aham srajamiva namavalim tanvai Krishnam upasitum, in order to worship Krishna. Then tvaritam vitaret esha tat sahityadi jamudam. So esha tvaritam vitaret. So uh, this Harinama with Vyakaranam, this series of the holy names of the Lord should be quickly bestowed upon the living entities. Should be distributed. Vitaret. We say vitarana, prasad vitarana. So vitaret has the same root, verbal root. So this should be quickly, tvaritam, vitaret, distributed. Um, and this is what we are doing here, trying to distribute this Namavali, this Harinamamrit Vyakaranam to the living entities. And Tat Sahityadi Jamodam. And what happens? Tat Sahitya. So when one comes in contact with this grammar, then he gets that key to unlock or unfold the the scriptures related to Sri Krishna, because Sahitya means the literatures, right? Sahitya in Hindi, in Sanskrit we say Sahitya, literatures. So then we are able to unfold or learn, dive deep into the intricacies of those scriptures, and when we do so, then we get a bliss. We become blissful. You know, all of us have some experience that when we dive deeper into the scriptures, we get to know the deeper meanings, the deeper insights of the scriptures, then naturally our heart becomes very blissful, isn't it? When we hear some valuable point, some very good point in a class, or when we read something like that, something profound. So amod, that happiness, that bliss comes up. So tat sahitya the jamodam, adija and amodam. In this way, Srila Jiva Goswami is saying the first Mangalacharanam. Anything here in the first one? Any word? Anything not understood? Your voice is not clear, Kinchan Krishna. Okay, I think And I will be sharing this PDF, so you're most welcome to read the translation, and then there is a commentary also below that. Very nice commentary actually. So then he moves on to the second verse. Ahata jalpita jatitam drishtva shabdanusasana stomam harinama valitam vyakaranam vaishnavartham achinma. Now someone may ask Jiva Goswami, just like when Srila Prabhupada arrived to America, then was to write, he wanted to publish his own Bhagavad Gita, which is Bhagavad Gita as it is. So people asked him, oh, there are already multiple versions or editions of Bhagavad Gita available in the market, or so what is the need for one more version or edition? Then Prabhupada gave his reply or response. So similarly, there could be a question put up to Jiva Goswami, the author, that there are already couple of systems, Sanskrit grammar systems, grammatical systems are available there, amongst the learned to study, to read, to learn from. So what's the need? What's the point of composing one more system? Want that we, you know, yeah, is it useful? Isn't it useless? So Jiva Goswami is saying that ahata jalpita jatitam drishtva shabdanushasana stomam. He's saying that I have gone through all the shabdanushasana stomam. So shabdanushasana stands for the grammar, the system of grammar, and stomam stands for cluster, samuh, a group of. So Jiva Goswami is saying uh, that okay, for the Sanskrit vocabulary, many words we are unaware of. So personally, I use this dictionary. This is called Golden Dict. It's a very good dictionary. Like any word, for example, stomam. If you don't know stomam, you can simply search for. So stoma is, it means all these things. So here it means this collection, number, multitude, quantity, mass. It's a very good dictionary actually. If you want, then I can share this also, or the link. You can type in Sanskrit and you get. This is offline, not even online. Very nice dictionary, very useful. So Jiva Goswami is saying that I also personally studied all those systems existing prior to Harinama Mritvakranam, and having seen or having read all those systems, what did I find? They were ahata jalpita jatitam. They were useless. They were harmful. Okay, ahata is translated as useless. So it had useless statements. Jalpita, we say prajalpa. Prajalpa, we say prajalpa. Prajalpa, jalpa, the root, the word. So ahata jalpita. The statements in other grammars, they are useless. Why useless? Because they didn't mention anything about the Lord's name, anything, nothing. And for the Vaishnavas, if there is a place without Krishna's holy names, his qualities, pastimes, and so on, that's like a place for the crow to sit together and to be there, like mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Jiva Goswami says that all those systems are having useless statements. Plus, it is jatitam. Jatitam, like for example, if you have heard jata, when the hairs they get entangled when we don't care for them, so they become like jata. You know, it's very hard to find the beginning, the end, the middle of the hair. They are all uh, very entangled. Similarly, all the statements, the way other systems have been presented, um, they are very entangling, unsystematic, unorganized. Yeah, dreadlocks. Dreadlocks. So So that's why Jiva Goswami is saying, sorry, it didn't work out with me. So, so that's why Harinama Vali Valitam Vyakaranam Vaishnavartham Achinma. He has compiled this Vyakarana, this grammar. I'm, I said grammar as grammar, thinking and it ending to with a Rama. So I'm compiling this grammar called Harinama Amrit Vyakaranam. And who is the target audience? The devotees. Vaishnavartham, for the sake of the devotees. Hmm. Okay. Anything here? The translation says, having carefully examined many grammatical works, all entangled with useless statements. For the sake of the Vaishnavas, we are compiling a grammar richly endowed with Lord Hari's holy names. He's not stopping here yet. He's, furthermore continuing. Vyakarane marunivritti जीवन लुब्धाः सदा संविघ्नाः हरिनामामृतमेतत् पिबन्तु शतधावगाहन्ताम्. He's saying that grammar in general is like a desert. Grammar is a dry subject. Hmm. It's not a subject full of mellow, can say. And it's a very technical subject. So we can't find rasa as we find in Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita here in grammar, in those concepts. So Jiva Goswami is saying that it's like a person in the mirage, in the desert, who is looking for water there, who is looking for life. Life is water in the desert. But does he find water in the desert? No. Sadagha Sanvigna. He is always afflicted by pain in the search of water, and he never gets the water there. Similarly, other system of grammars, they are compared to desert, very dry, and those who are trying to attain or achieve some rasa in such uh, desert-like grammars, then they will always be in pain. They will always be afflicted with distress in the search of their happiness there in those deserts, because yeah, they are dry. But this Harinama Vritti Vyakaranam is not dry, although the concepts are the same, but it has been endowed with the holy names of the Lord. That's why it has become full of rasa. So that's why he's kind of advertising, or inviting people, especially the devotees, that that come here, come here. Etat harinamamritam pibantu. Please do drink this nectar of the holy names of the Lord. And then shatadha avagahantam. And if you're not even satisfied, you know, by drinking this amrita, this nectar, then you dive into it. Take a dive into it. And how many times? Once, twice, thrice? No, he says shatadha, hundreds of times. So you drink it, you dive deeper into it. Let those who hanker for water in the desert of Sanskrit grammar and who are therefore constantly beset with difficulties drink the nectar of Lord Hari's names and let them dive into this nectar again and again. So there is no need to go for those systems which are dry, um, they who doesn't have anything to do with Krishna or Lord and Lord's holy names and so on. So let them come here and let them drink this nectar, dive deep into this nectar profusely again and again. Now, the last verse of Mangala Charanam. Someone can argue that okay, accept it. that your system is good. Someone can argue and put an argument in front of Jiva Goswami. Now the argument could be that the person who is arguing could say that I have heard that Krishna's names, the Lord's names, should be used in order to develop love of God. The primary reason. So why you are utilizing Lord's holy names, not for developing love of God, but to learn Sanskrit grammar? So is it like doing justice with the Lord's names, or is it just something whimsical you're doing? Someone can say to Jiva Goswami. So in response to that, what Jiva Goswami says is this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam: Sanketyam parihasyam va stobham helanam eva vaikuntha nama grahanam ashesha gharam vidhu. That Jiva Goswami says, right, primary reason or primary usage or reason of chanting holy name is to develop love of God. But there is no fault either in taking Lord's holy names in the secondary sense. Even then, the name of the Lord is very powerful and very potent, and it bestows the chanter with this. What is that? One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immediately freed from the reactions of unlimited sins, even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else, jokingly, for musical entertainment, or even neglectfully. This is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. So even if one chants the name of the Lord indirectly, then also the name removes all the sins, unlimited sins of one who chants. So if one chants like indirectly, like to indicate something else, for example, like salt in India, especially in places like Ayodhya, Haridwar, salt is known as Ramras, if you have heard of Ramras. So Ramras. So Ram is Lord Rama's names. So even when they are asking for salt, like Ramras, then also they are incurring sukriti, piety. So, or if one chants the names jokingly for musical entertainment, even neglectful. So then the name would work and it would take away all the reactions of the unlimited sins of the chanter. So there is no harm in chanting the Lord's holy names, even indirectly in the secondary sense. So this is how Jiva Goswami winds up his Mangala Charanam, and then he will begin with the sutras from chapter 1. That we'll do from tomorrow. So yeah, we complete the Mangala Charanam here. Is there anything to be said here? We'll just take one question or comment here, then we'll resume from tomorrow. So the recordings will be available as well. We'll share the link. Also the PDF shared. Anything here? Like, yeah, Vijay, go in the program.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Namaskar, Prabhu. Thank you very much for a wonderful introduction. What instrument do you use to print the diacritics?
Okay, I'll share. I have a software. I'll share it in the group. I'll share. Okay, so we'll resume tomorrow if there's nothing else. And so those who are having questions, you can ask personally on WhatsApp. So this is okay. We'll resume tomorrow.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. See you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.